Yep.
Welcome to episode 97 of Auto Off Topic. What's going on, Andrew?
Not much. What's up, Brad?
Not too much. Got some exciting things coming up, and some exciting things have happened, and we also have a long lost Auto Off Topic theme tonight. We haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah. No, this one's been on the back burner for a bit because we had
Yeah.
some other stuff. So we'll start off with some project updates. I wired up my ham radio in the
Excellent.
Montaro.
Ham.
Yeah.
I like ham.
So I can listen in on rally communications.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a minute. But you
That's
said
part of
you
our
had
upcoming events.
project updates.
I do. I finally bit the bullet and bought a radiator for the Blue Colt
Yep.
after complaining about overheating problems for like a year and a half, 2 years.
How'd that go for you?
Did not go well.
Okay.
Did not go well at all. So the part that I ordered showed a picture of an old style metal tank brass radiator.
This happens a lot with older car parts listings I've
Yeah.
found.
Unfortunately, I didn't know that. So I ordered it for $90 with 2-day prime shipping.
Yep.
And I received it, and it was a plastic tank with the thin, I guess it's a steel core. I don't know what it is.
It's aluminum.
Is it aluminum? But it's
They're
not
aluminum with crimped plastic ends.
Yeah, they're terrible. So I was planning on going to the mini Mitsubishi Owners Day in Connecticut last weekend. So I woke up real early on Saturday to change it so I can get on the road and go.
That
Just
was
use it.
congruent with the West Coast one.
Same day. Yep.
Yep.
But it was put on by a dealership out here, not put on by Mitsubishi. Actually, the pictures showed a pretty successful day. They had, I guess, probably 100 cars. And there were a couple of earlier vehicles, which was kind of cool. It wasn't just all modern Lancers.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I woke up real early in the morning to put the radiator in. I said, screw it. I have the radiator. How bad can it be? I'll run it until I get the other one record.
Right.
So I spent the time to take the old radiator out, put the radiator in.
Mm-hmm.
Bolt holes line up just fine.
Yep.
Sits flush in the bottom of the radiator support the way it's supposed to.
Yep.
Sticks above the radiator support like 2.5 inches.
Oh, that's not a problem.
No.
Just cut the hood.
Right.
Or run without a hood.
I would have to do one of those two things, yes. So I chose
Probably
neither.
run cooler without a hood.
I chose neither. And I reboxed it, and I went back to Amazon and printed a return
Get a
label.
cowl induction hood.
Stop. The
Now-
cowl induction hood wouldn't have helped because it's the front of the hood is the problem. It'd be a reverse cowl hood.
Yeah.
So, no.
Was it Amazon or a third-party seller on
I think it was a
Amazon?
third-party seller on Amazon.
Yeah.
But whatever, they took it back. They refunded my money.
This is the weird part of. I was actually listening to Reply All podcasts,
Okay.
and they were talking about that. How weird Amazon has gotten.
How big Colt radiators are now?
No,
Oh.
just the general that to compete with like everything they allow third-party sellers.
You could sell on Amazon if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the quality of things go down
Mm-hmm.
because they're not being like sold directly by Amazon.
Correct. You're buying it from somebody who's using Amazon's platform to sell their product.
Yes.
So,
So it's kind of like you kind of lose trust in Amazon a bit.
yeah. Well, this is a Spectra radiator, which is a common brand.
Yeah, the brand is fine,
Yeah.
but clearly the fitments were off.
The listing was off, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, though, because I wonder if it fits a different car. Because 1978 was the year that Colts got a little confusing with other body styles, with the wagon and
I'm
whatnot.
sure.
So I wonder if it fits like a 78 Colt wagon.
Probably.
Because it literally lined up perfect with the bottom of the radiator support and
Yeah.
all of the bolt holes. It would have bolted right in. It was just a couple inches too tall.
No, it's somebody that's going by what said it should fit, so they just put up the listing.
Yep.
It's not somebody who's actually into Colts. It's just
Well, the fact that I would need to find somebody into Colts who is selling Colts parts on Amazon would be very rare. So,
yes. But that's
Regardless.
that's why that's like that.
looking at the listing, it looked like it was good. The picture showed pretty much the radiator in the car. So, I mean, it was like exactly correct. So, just what I got wasn't that. It didn't fit. And now I'm frustrated because now I'm down to 0 running vintage cars in the middle of summertime.
Well,
So,
I don't know. I thought you had a second radiator for the Colt.
they're both junk, though.
Oh,
So,
okay. One
anyway,
was working better than the other, but
the one that was in the car was working better than the one I took out of the car.
so I have the other one.
So, whatever. They're both out of the car now.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the one that was in the car tomorrow morning, actually,
Yeah.
down to a place here in Medford, I think.
Yeah, it's the same place I had my
Gallant one done.
they did the Gallant, they did the 99 Montero, and I may have had them check the 89 Montero one.
Yeah, so Rogers radiator.
Yep. It
So
was like $50.
they're literally the only radiator shop around that will
Yeah.
fix a radiator now. They'll recore a radiator. There's none left.
Yeah.
So in fact, all the
It
other ones I
might not
called,
even need to be cored. They might just clean it really well because they have the super strong
I
chemicals
don't
and
know.
pressure to clean
I
it.
think I'd rather pay to have it record and bring it brand new again.
I
At
had
this point,
the Montero one and the Gallant one I had just cleaned by them and they've been fine.
yeah. Well, I'll give it to them and see what their best thought is, because they'll pressure test it and everything, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So, regardless, there are no radiator shops around anymore. There's even one next town over that's called Auto Body and Radiator. So I called them and they're like, "No, we don't do radiators anymore."
No.
So
It was
dying breed.
well, yeah, you just replace it then.
Yeah, I wish I could.
You would
I
think
tried.
Yeah, you would think there still has to be somebody that specializes in brass radiators because there still are people restoring older
Old
cars
cars.
that these
Yeah.
type of radiators only fit in and they only look correct in.
Yeah, it's just not.
It'd be really weird if I had like a 21 Duesenberg with a aluminum radiator with plastic end tanks.
Mhm.
But I mean that's a high-end car. But like even if you had like a Ferrari or something like a mid-60s Ferrari or something,
Yeah.
there's probably somebody that does that. But
Yep. They're just not a local corner shop
No,
anymore. There used to
no.
be one in Salem, one in Beverly, one in Peabody, and now there's.
when everybody ran that type of radiator in the car.
Yep.
But
So now people don't fix things; they just replace them.
Yeah.
Same reason there's no TV shops left, TV repair shops left, because nobody fixes TVs anymore.
well, yeah. I
So-
mean, to be fair, I don't know. TVs aren't like
They're not expensive anymore.
you just throw them away.
Yep.
It's
There's
disposable.
cell phone repair shops and computer repair shops still, but no
Barely.
TV repair shops.
Barely. They're getting to the point where it's just like,
Well, if they don't sell vape supplies, they go out of business.
Yeah.
They have to sell vape supplies along with their cell phone repair.
well.
But unfortunately, that's
Anyway,
just 2018 world we live in.
some things that aren't going out of style. Southern New Hampshire Cars and Coffee.
True. That's Sunday.
That
This
is Sunday.
coming Sunday.
We are co-sponsors of this.
Yep. We're not going to be
We
there.
won't be there
Yeah.
this week, unfortunately, because we've got so that is in Salem, New Hampshire, at the Coffee Factory.
Yep.
Do you remember the name of that strip mall is?
I
If
don't
you
remember the name
just-
of the strip mall,
If
but
you search Southern New Hampshire Cars and Coffee on Facebook,
I think it's 92 Clough Crossing is the
Ye-
address.
but it's very easy. I did it earlier. If you search them on Facebook, you will
Mhm.
find their page on Facebook with all the updates.
All
and
the
how to get
dates
there,
and
and all the
directions and everything.
So go there.
hmm
I will also share it on our page, and go check it out. It's a good time if you're in northern Mass, southern New Hampshire.
Yep.
And
Usually a couple hundred cars on a good day.
Yep.
So it's a good
but
time.
even if we weren't doing the thing we're doing this weekend, we still wouldn't be able to make it to New Hampshire Cars and Coffee
Correct.
because it is
Mistlewood this weekend as well.
Yes. So on Sunday, Mistlewood Concours d'Elegance in Beverly, Mass. It's at the Mistlewood Estate,
hmm
which is part of Endicott College campus, right
But it's
on
like a gorgeous, like rolling green
Yeah,
grass
it's
hills on
right
the ocean
on
on private
Route
beach.
129.
Yeah. Nope.
127.
Yep.
Sorry. Route 127.
Which is a coastal route, like a coastal scenic New England
Yes.
highways and byways, they say.
Yeah, I drive the other one all the time. That's why it was in my
129.
brain.
Yeah. Now 127 is the correct one.
127.
Beverly, Mass.
Yep.
Endicott College, Mistlewood Estate.
So that is spectators, open to spectators.
Correct.
I forget what the cost is. Probably starts at like 9.
I think it opens at 9,
Yep.
yeah. There is, across the street from the Concord Elegance, there is a parking lot for special interest vehicles that are not in the concourse.
Yes, because the concourse is
Invitation only.
invitationally
Yep.
curated. If you roll up to the gate and you're not invited with your car,
Right.
they won't.
Unless
not
your
let
car
you
happens to be like a 57 Testarossa. They might find a spot for you.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you're in an average vintage car, there is parking for you. There's a special lot where people who go
Directly across the street.
directly across the street from the actual Concord Elegance.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a mini show within a show.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice show.
Yes, it is.
And
It's
the weather should be really nice for
supposed to
it.
be a beautiful weekend.
So I highly recommend that.
Yep.
Um,
And actually, if you're around the night before and you go on their Facebook page, you can see the times and dates for the Tour de Elegance,
Mm-hmm.
where all of the vehicles that are entered in the Concord Elegance go on like a 30-mile tour of the coastal roads around that area,
Yep.
going from Beverly to Gloucester or Gloucester to Beverly or something like that.
All right. Yeah, we will share both of those on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, on the 19th and 20th this week, so Friday and Saturday,
Which, if you listened to us before, we've been talking about quite some time now.
is New England Forest Rally. That is headquartered at Sunday River in Bethel, Maine. It's about 3 hours from Boston. If you want to check it out, just Google for the website. There is a spectator guide, or there's probably still time to sign up as a volunteer.
Which will get you closer access to everything.
Yep. But is difficult to spectate.
Don't
But
let that discourage you,
it's
though.
worth it.
Yeah, go up and try. And every year you try, you'll get better. You'll learn how to spectate better. You'll learn how
Or
to hit the right spots.
you could spectate once, like our friend Liz, and then just be like, I'm going to buy a car and just I'm going to get right into the action.
That's true.
So that is what Brad will be up there helping them crew.
Yes.
And we've talked about this Volkswagen Spaghetti,
Yep, many times.
keeping it running, ideally.
Hopefully I won't have to do too much.
Hopefully it'll be very boring for you.
Yes.
And exciting for them because they're running the
Yep.
entire time. And I will be there shooting pictures and doing media. So
Yeah.
it'll be good.
So look for Andrew popping up in the background of everybody's in-car videos.
Yep.
And look for me in the pits.
Yes. Yeah, so that's it for events.
That's a pretty big event this weekend, though.
Yeah.
It sucks they're always in the same weekend.
Well, yeah, and also it just so happens that the IMSA at Lime Rock is
Also this weekend.
also this weekend, which I like to go to too. But come to find out, they're not running all the cars this year. They're running just the GT cars.
Okay. So they're not running GT3 and whatnot?
No, just GT. No prototypes.
Oh, okay. So they're running their production-based cars.
Yeah, because they only do like a 3-hour race. So, but the Cadillac prototypes are pretty cool, and the Mazda prototypes. But
But
maybe they decided that the racetrack is too small or something.
I mean, it is a pretty small track to run a top tier.
And it's like mid-season,
prototype car.
so probably don't want to wreck your car middle of the season in a small track. So they're just gonna run the GT cars, which is still worth it.
Speaking of which, did you see the GT car and the prototype car at the Goodwood Festival of Speed this year?
No.
The Porsche 956 race car, the Rothmans liveried car,
962.
maybe 962. Yeah, 956 or 962, one or the other. It depends on
The one that looks like
what
the
year
Canon
it was.
car.
Yeah, same basic car.
That's a 962. I think.
That one is, but the 956 is also the same basic style car. Anyway, I think it's 956.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
Prove me wrong. Somebody will.
Yep.
But it got to the top of the hill, crossed the finish line, and they had sent a new, like, GT3 race car behind it, and it caught it crossing the finish line.
Yeah.
And it rear-ended it hard. So whoever was driving in the GT3 Porsche rear-ended this multi-million-dollar collectible, like, mid-'80s race car.
They'll fix it.
They will, but talk about an embarrassing moment. Anyway, that's
That's
a
rough.
little non-sequitur. That was just an interesting video I saw this week. Have you watched any of the Goodwood Festival Speed videos?
I watched a couple of them.
Like Cobra Coupe?
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, that's the one to watch.
I watched the Volvo wagon with the dog hanging out of it, the BTCC car.
Yep, that wasn't worth watching at all.
The lawnmower was kind of weird, like stopped halfway up, like it stalled or something.
Yeah. The self-driving 65 Mustang
I didn't watch that.
didn't make it.
Okay.
It was pretty terrible.
Mad Mike's RX-7 was pretty cool.
Yep. And then somebody drove a Land Rover on two wheels most of the way up.
Yeah.
Did you watch that one?
I saw pictures of it.
Didn't quite make it to the top because where it gets real narrow with a wall is on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
He put two tires in the wall, and it upset the balance of the car. He had to put it back down on all four. So
That's so weird.
yeah, but the one to watch, and maybe I'll link it on the Facebook page or something, is the Cobra Coupe, a legit real Cobra Coupe, because he takes off for the first eighth mile just full burnout, drifting sideways in this like $13 million race car. Pretty awesome.
All right.
And the Jaguar sedan is an awesome one to watch too. But maybe I'll link a couple of them up.
Definitely a bucket list trip. So hopefully
for sure.
someday we'll check it out.
For sure. I think that's over. It was last weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's get to a cool topic.
Or a topic. Up to you to decide if it's cool or not.
I think it's cool. So, right, for years, when you watch TV,
Mhm.
you wanted a car show that perfectly fit your taste, right?
That wasn't terrible.
Yeah, and there's been a few that have come close.
Mm.
Few that have come close.
Yeah, there's a few I've watched.
But this is going back quite a few episodes now because we haven't done a question episode in a while.
Yep.
But somebody asked us about new shows or TV shows,
Car shows
car
in
shows,
general. Yeah, YouTube or otherwise.
and we said that we were just getting into it because we hadn't finished all of it. But on Velocity, there was a new show that came out, and I believe it's still on demand on cable. But you said it's not on Motor Trend.
They took it off Motor Trend on Demand
Which is
before I got a chance to finish
really
it.
annoying because
super annoying.
you pay for that.
And it's why I subscribed to it to watch that
Yes.
show.
So if you're listening to Motor Trend Demand, unlikely,
Right.
but unhappy customer.
Yes.
Um,
Although I will not unsubscribe because they still have RoadKill
sure.
and other shows.
JDM Legends.
Yes.
I think it's one of the coolest new car shows.
It's probably one of the best car shows for cable television for sure.
Yeah.
But we're also biased.
Yeah, we are. It is the type of cars we like, but it's also what I like to watch in a car show. I just like to watch someone working on a car, improving it.
Without making drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind of, as they're going along, explaining what they're doing, not just like, and it's done.
Right.
Like, I mean, there is some like cuts to stuff, but it's just kind of like, all right, we're doing this.
Well,
'cause
there's filmed drama that's not really drama.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just the way the cable network does it. It's
Yeah.
not the show itself.
No.
So the show doesn't create fake drama to hold you in.
No.
The film crew will like end on them like turning a wrench, like, is this bolt gonna come out? And then go to commercial. But that's not their fault. That's just the way it got edited in post.
and then it comes out and they're fine.
Exactly.
But it's just what I want to watch. You're just like, they're just quiet, like just kind of moving along.
Yep.
Working on it.
Yeah, they're
Alright,
clearly
well,
not TV personalities. They're just normal dudes working on cars. And I kind of like that. It makes it more honest for me.
It's authentic.
Yeah.
And that's what we like. Instead of everyone looking for the next stupid Richard Rawlings shit,
Right.
that sucks.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't want to watch it.
Yes.
But somehow that's all we usually get.
Mm-hmm. It's over and over and over again, too, just in slightly different
They're
formats.
all the same shows. If you go through the normal
it's
stuff
the
that's on
overhauling.
Velocity, it's ridiculous.
It's all overhauling with a different format. That's
sort of, I guess.
100% all it is. Because it's always a car. They get this car. It's the biggest project they've ever had. They have 2 weeks to finish it. They have $1.56 to finish it.
Yeah.
And nobody goes home until it's finished because massive masculinity yelling at each other.
And then you get they get really famous and they build crap like that stupid,
Over and over and over again.
the stupid 1910 Mitsubishi whatever thing built on the
I don't even want to talk about that.
IMEV that's so terrible and stupid looking, and
That Mitsubishi paid them.
we
lots
like you
and lots and lots of
Mitsubishi,
money.
but that was not, it wasn't good.
It was a poor choice.
It was just
Poor choice of shop.
somebody else could have done it a lot better.
Yeah. Yep. It
Um,
would have been really easy to put electric motors and hide them in the normal shape of the car, not make it way wider with 17-inch
Just
wheels. And
an electric power plant where the gas power plant would be.
pretty dang simple.
So
It's too wide, cut the axle shorter. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be that hard.
it was weird.
Yeah, it wasn't
Totally
pretty.
weird.
Obviously, we're talking about the 1919 Mitsubishi Model
That's
A,
what it was. Yeah.
which they commissioned for their 100th anniversary of the making cars, or 1918 Model A.
Yep.
Whatever year it was, 17, 18, 19, whatever. They commissioned
2017.
Yeah.
1917 because it was 2017.
Yeah,
it was 100.
1917. Yep. So they commissioned it through West Coast Customs, in that weird, short little Smurfy guy, Ryan
Yeah.
Friedlinghouse, I think his name is.
Yeah.
But they're not a shop that's known for A, restorations, or B, taste. So when they had them build this thing to look like the original, they missed it by about 37 miles.
Yeah.
Because it looked nothing like it at all. It was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It was hot garbage. It was awful. I can't even believe they finished it, and Mitsubishi displayed it on like their website.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have.
Oh, but before we get too far, I'll jump back to events real quick. So our West Coast buddies went to MOD
Mitsubishi Owners Day.
at headquarters in
Mhm.
Cypress, California,
Yes.
and apparently a bunch of the Montero guys that showed up.
En masse.
En
There were a bunch of
masse.
them, yeah. Not in Massachusetts, but en masse, as in a lot of them.
got to specifically sit down with a bunch of executives,
including the new president of like Mitsubishi Cars North America.
CEO, yeah,
Yeah.
and they asked them why they drive their Monteros, which was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're just curious as why they love them so much. So I know Brian Driggs has a post. It'll be up on Gearbox Magazine.
Yep.
And you'll
Tomorrow,
check it out.
I think, on Thursday or today when this goes live.
Yep. So check that out. He's
It's
got some
a good
awesome
little read. I got a little preview of it, and then you did too. So.
Yep. He's got an awesome insight into it. So please check that out. I don't want to spoil it, but
No.
it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So,
it's pretty cool that Mitsubishi wanted to hear from loyal Mitsubishi fans as to why they do what they do.
So just they are trying.
Yep.
I know people are knocking on them because all they make is hybrids and crossovers. But you know what? So does everyone else.
Yep.
That's what the general public is buying, and you got to sell those cars
in order to make niche cars.
Yeah. For enthusiasts. So
100%. And that's why I tell everybody in my life that's looking to buy a new car to go look at Mitsubishis, because not one has been disappointed yet, and they all get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a great car.
Yeah. I hope that they update the Lancer, but
I'm sure they will.
They'll work on that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
one thing at a time.
Back to TV shows. So we really like New JDM Legends.
It is good, and the cars are good. There's a good amount of learning about the car.
Yep.
You learn a lot about the twin cam cars, which we never got in this country.
And I like the little asides they do and talk about other cars and their
it's
driving.
not just a one car for the whole episode.
I mean, it is very Datsun heavy, but they are a Datsun shop.
They're not a Datsun
Nissan
shop.
Nissan Datsun.
No, they're a vintage Japanese shop.
Well,
but
if you watch the show,
what's popular now and what brings them more money right now is the Z cars, the Skylines, and the 510s. That's what people are spending money on. So they're going to go where people spend money.
That's a Nissan shop.
But it's not a Nissan shop. Like one of the guys in the show, Josh, had a Montero for a long time, and then now he drives a 74 Honda Civic as a daily.
Yeah.
So they're just into old Japanese cars. The main guy who runs the shop has a Datsun pickup, but his daily driver is a Toyota Starlet.
Okay.
So they're not a Nissan shop.
Well,
it just happened to be that all the vehicles that they wanted to put on television were Nissan Datsuns, because that's what sells right now.
Well, that's the impression I got.
Yep.
So
they're not a Nissan shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you say so.
Go on their website and check out their inventory, what they have for sale. And it's not all Nissans by any means.
Well, there was like 10 episodes, and we're working on this Skyline. We're working on this Skyline.
Which they've talked about off the episode. And it's like, people now have the impression that we're a Nissan shop, but we're not.
Okay.
So, I just don't want us to propagate the wrong stereotype for this person.
Well, fair enough. You heard the truth.
Yes.
From the inside knowledge.
Yes.
All right. But how do we get there? How do we get to this type of shows?
How?
Yeah.
How did we get to Nissans?
How do we get to these type of car shows?
Well, it started in the late 90s with TNN.
I think it goes back further than that.
To what?
You know what it goes back to.
What does it go back to?
It goes back way further.
Okay. We are teasing this, but I don't know what
am.
you're talking about. You talking about build shows like this?
Yeah.
Goes back further than
Well, no, not build shows, but
car shows.
Automotive car shows in general.
Yeah, there's definitely been a few.
Yeah.
And most of them have been garbage from the beginning.
No, but I mean, what's the most famous one you can think of?
Motor Week.
Definitely, right?
I can almost hear his voice.
I know. It's Owings Mills, Maryland. This is Motor Week.
You just sounded way too excited. You can't be that excited.
No?
No. Is his voice going to come up now? Do we have his voice
No.
in this clip? All right.
Don't.
No.
It's purely the theme.
That's good. I don't remember the theme as much, but the second it came on, I knew exactly what it was.
I mean, I remember like Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Like,
but wasn't this on like TNN and stuff back in the day?
PBS.
It was on PBS?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
This was the Maryland PBS station.
Okay.
Versus like.
So you have to remember that in the 80s and 90s, we were both raised by different parents.
Yeah.
And my parents didn't allow me to watch television.
Okay.
So I didn't get to see this show.
Even PBS, huh?
Well, PBS I got to watch as a child, to watch like Sesame Street, but that was about it. I never got beyond that.
Oh, see, I grew up with cable at least.
We had cable. I just couldn't watch it. It wasn't until I was like in middle school where I was like, all right, I can watch this now.
I mean, now there's probably literally like 1,000 car shows.
Between YouTube and cable, yeah, tons.
And but I mean, I picked out a few to talk about that I think kind of influenced the genre, in my opinion,
Okay.
and some that even passed from car culture to pop culture. And I say this is like for example, the longest running car show, Top Gear.
Motor Week?
No, Top Gear actually.
Does Top Gear predate Motor Week?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
1977 to 2001 was original Top Gear. So that was like a straight up review show, very
Okay.
much like Motor Week.
So that would be before Motor Week then. Just not in this country.
Yes. Motor Week came out in 1981. And this was like the show I loved watching on Saturdays and Sundays growing up.
Right.
So, and
But I
then
wasn't allowed to.
current Top Gear, current version of the Top Gear
Well,
that we know as the kind of jokey fun
yeah.
version is from 2002 to present.
Okay.
We'll call that all the same version because
Yeah, you might as well. It's the same. It's the same premise.
Yeah. It went from being a straight up review show like Motor Week to a more adventurous.
Well, there was also it became the more adventurous fun show, but then you also had the British version of the serious show kept going, which was that Fifth Gear.
Yeah, I think it was a little more serious.
It was a lot more serious.
I've never really seen it. Yeah, but I think they still did stuff. But
not the same kind of gags they did on Top Gear. It was a lot more
no.
straight reviews.
So that was like one of my favorites was Motor Week. And then I remember like the first DIY like car repair show I saw.
Shade Tree Mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you know
Sam
that?
Mamolo.
That's right.
Yeah. Because that was the first one I remember too.
Yeah.
Because by the time that show came out, I guess I was old enough to
Yeah.
watch the show.
Because it was on TNN.
Don't tell me you have the theme music.
I
for
have
this
the
as well.
theme.
Yeah.
Remember it?
I do now. It's terrible.
It's wicked terrible.
But I remember it. Actually, you know
Right?
what this sounds like? A little bit? Almost like Gran Turismo menu music.
Yeah. Or it's
When
kind
it
of like
starts
a.
off. Yeah. Just innocuous, terrible
Yeah.
music. Yeah, no, I remember that show. Yes. Oh, Sam Mamolo, right? That was his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a better one because that showed mechanic work. That's
Yeah.
when I started getting into wanting to know how things worked, not just ooh, shiny car, make
Yeah,
a
it
noise.
was how these things work and like how to install stuff. It was. I mean, it was basic, but it was a really good show at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember getting into like Power Block on
TNN
TNN.
before it turned into the next Spike network.
Yeah, TNN was like,
It was the Nashville network. It was
Yeah.
MTV for country music,
but then there was this whole thing, TNN Motorsports.
which was on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because much like MTV, they realized they weren't making any money with music videos.
Oh shoot, that's what I need a TNN Motorsports hat for Radwood, Atlanta.
Okay,
That
that's
is
pretty good because
perfect.
you're right in the home country of it down there too.
Yeah.
Because that's Turner. That was Turner, right?
It was Turner. They were based. No, it was the National Network. But I believe
But
they
it
were
was
owned by
part
Turner.
of TBS,
Yeah,
I
I believe
think,
I
yeah.
believe they're owned by Turner. But yeah, that was like they did some cool stuff. Like remember, they did like a Friday night like truck thing
Mm-hmm.
where they'd have like it was like monster trucks.
They did monster trucks, but they also did the
tough truck.
tough truck, which was just like rednecks in like their fairly new pickup trucks beating the crap out of them and on
In
the
like a
monster truck
stadium.
stadium.
Yeah. And then like, so it was like, you talk about Power Block. It was basically like these shows were to sell Flowmasters and Polycarps.
And Jegs catalogs.
Yeah, but they did entertain, and there's a bunch of these on the air type of shows, like Horsepower TV and like trucks and like all this stuff, and they're probably like pretty cheap and easy to make because they just had like a single set and like get all sponsored stuff.
It was not owned by Turner.
Oh, okay.
No.
Independent.
That was owned by Gaylord Entertainment Company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is, they own like a bunch of hotels too.
Okay.
And you just toss them on. You kind of watch these on a Saturday morning with the kids, which is what I did with my dad.
Yep, I remember watching with my dad on Saturday
And
mornings.
they're kind of benign, like cooking shows. Like
for cars.
Yeah.
But they always were sponsored heavily by those particular products, whether it be Flowmaster
clearly.
or Edelbrock or whatever it was. What I do remember about those shows was it was always the same kind of repairs.
Oh,
They
all
never
the
got
time.
too deep into the cars.
No.
There was never much diagnostic done on the cars.
No.
It was always just like, we're going to replace this intake manifold with this Edelbrock intake manifold.
Here, we get this
And
basic
this
budget build.
Edelbrock carb.
This basic budget build
Right.
of $10,000.
Right. Well, you can do this in a weekend in your garage if Edelbrock gives you $10,000 of the parts as well.
Yeah.
That was the same thing every week. And it was always, oh, this week we're going to double the horsepower on our 65 Corvette. This week we're going to double the horsepower on our 66 Mustang.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just throw it up on our chassis dynamometer that we've got in
In
the
the
studio.
shop, yes. But then Shade Tree Mechanic begat, like, there was the truck one, and there was, what were some of the other ones they had at the time? I don't
There's a
even remember.
bunch. It was Horsepower TV or Hot Rod TV, maybe.
Hot Rod TV.
I
Horsepower
think it
was
was
one.
Hot Rod TV, and then it became Horsepower TV. Maybe they lost the licensing or something.
Maybe, but that was the one with Stacy David, right?
There's like Stacey David's Cars or something.
No, that
like
came out
that.
later, but he started in one of the other shows.
Yeah.
He started on like Hot Rod TV or one of those
Yeah.
ones.
Then there's one with the guy that was the welder, and he was like a Navy Seabee. I can't remember what that one's called either. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
And
And none of them are very good.
they're all kind of the same, unfortunately. I mean, I get it. That's not a knock against the people that are in them. They're just they want to do their
No,
thing, and
that's what sold.
that's yeah. They're just trying to make money too, but I guess TV is just a weird business, and they find a formula that kind of works, and they just stick with it.
And they burn it into the ground.
Yeah,
and
basically.
then they change to something else.
Uh,
So Teen and
open that
Motorsports.
for me.
What's
yeah.
that?
TNN Motorsports.
Oh,
Yeah.
the beer?
Hand that to me.
Yeah, sure.
What are we drinking here?
This is...
We started with. We'll
Great
take a
Divide.
quick aside here. We had Great Divide Roadie Grapefruit Radler,
Mhm.
which is a limited release. It's awesome.
And this is a Boulder Beer chocolate porter shake.
Wait, do we have 2 beers from Colorado tonight?
Apparently.
Look at that. We didn't even plan that.
Theme night.
Yeah, chocolate porter. Cool. So, we got. Do you remember My Classic Car?
With Dennis Gage.
Yeah, the guy
That's
with the
still
big
on.
mustache.
That show's
totally
still
still
on
on.
Velocity. Yep.
And it's kind of like I think it's the OG car show filmer.
You mean like YouTuber? Like he went to a car show with a handy cam and filmed the car show?
I mean, basically, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
That's basically what he did. And then he'd convince people to let him drive their car a little bit.
yeah. I mean, he's a pretty wholesome guy with
Yeah.
a funny looking mustache.
Yeah, he had,
drives
he had the
little
handlebar
cars.
mustache. I'm Dennis Gage, and
Yeah.
this is my classic
Talks to
car.
old white men at car shows. I mean, it's
Pretty much. Drives old American cars and nothing
That's-
else.
all it is.
We have a local one of those guys,
They
too.
talk
you know?
about they talk about Battery Tender brand. I feel like they're only sponsored by Battery Tan
And
Battery-
Eastwood.
Yeah,
Battery Tender and Eastwood.
Yeah.
Those are the two sponsors.
I mean those Battery Tenders.
Oh,
are
and
pretty
McGuire's.
sweet.
And McGuire's.
Yes.
Because Barry McGuire's shiny white teeth are on all of those episodes. And it's really dark tan. The man is really good at polishing cars and tanning.
And his teeth.
Yes.
Polishes his teeth.
and tans and polishes
And he's
cars.
out in the sun at car shows, so he's super tanned.
Yes. We have a local, like, My Classic Car kind of show. It's called Cruising New England with Paul Manette.
Mm-hmm.
And that is
I thought that guy was the guy from McGuire's.
Paul Manette.
He looks like him.
No, he's not quite as dark, but he's up there. But that one, he's not very knowledgeable, though, is the problem with that one. So his show is rife with errors, which bothers me.
Well, whatever.
It just bothers me. I was watching, they were doing one last night. I was at my local watering hole, and it was on the TV on the screen in front of me.
What the hell channel's it on? Like New England Cable News?
Cable
or
News,
something?
yeah, NECN. Or Comcast Sportsnet.
Oh,
Comcast
yeah, yeah.
Sportsnet, that's where it is. Anyway, yeah, he was at some guy's Pontiac collection, and, like, he was getting years wrong and, like, history wrong. And I
Really?
was like, ugh,
Weird.
no good. No good.
Yeah, so there's that guy. I remember watching that a lot when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it was like a huge deal, and this is what I think kicked off the build show craze,
Mm-hmm.
was Monster Garage.
Was Monster Garage first, or was
What was first?
Overhauling first?
They may have been close to the same time, but I feel like Monster Garage was first.
But I feel like there was a show with Jesse James before Monster Garage.
I believe he was featured on like some
A
one-off.
biker build-off show or something.
There was a lot of one-off biker build shows before, and that kind of proved that those type of shows would sell, and that's
Yeah.
where those shows came from.
Let's see if we can.
There was a
find-
time when like the Discovery Channel didn't have much other than like nature stuff,
when they had things about learning, discoveries, and discovering things.
and then they kind of got into. They figured, well, shoot, people really want like building like technical shows and like car shows, and whoever stumbled onto that, like clearly it spawned off like
Okay,
a whole nother
so
channel.
in 2000, Discovery Channel made a documentary called Motorcycle Mania, which followed Jesse James' everyday life. That was where he got his start.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, but
after that came Monster Garage, and then all the biker build-offs.
hmm
So
and I mean, I remember on. It's not really car related. It's kind of ancillary. Was on TLC. There used to be Junkyard Wars.
that was a British show, though.
It was a British show that I think they spun off into an American show, and they sort of had this like fabricated junkyard, and you had to build something with the
That was right about
parts
the same time
that
that
you found in the junkyard.
that was right about the same time that they were showing BattleBots too, though.
Yes.
So I think it was all kind of related to that same theme.
Yes. Which is somehow back.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know
They've
that.
been advertising it heavily.
I haven't noticed because I don't have cable.
And they're like,
We're doing an episode about cable television shows. I don't even have cable.
but a lot of these you watched, and a lot of them you can get on YouTube now.
Yeah, I can find them somewhere.
I know you don't have to like steal stuff anymore. It just exists.
It's just there. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you get Orange County Choppers,
hmm
which started off as a single documentary. And you're like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And then they ran that into the ground.
Yes.
And it's back.
The whole company into the ground, actually.
But it's back.
It is back, yeah. Somehow.
Which that meme is one of my current favorite memes.
The one with Paul Sr. and Jr. arguing.
About something, yeah, and then people add captions to it.
Yep.
It's hysterical. Gets me nearly every time. So it turned from building bikes into a crazy show about how big of a fight
It is back.
Paul Sr. and Jr. could get into.
They started recording in May of this year.
Yeah.
That's awful.
BattleBots are back. This show's back.
It's not even long enough ago
There's
to be
not like
it's not even nostalgic yet. It's just burning things further into the ground.
there's no new ideas other than like JDM Legends.
Which isn't even a new idea. It's
No.
a spin-off of something else as well.
But like, man, I don't know. I guess it's better because it's in HD. You'll just watch it because it looks better.
I'm not gonna watch Orange County Choppers.
No. But it's so annoying when you watch something that's not HD. Like, you can't even look at it anymore.
Yeah,
Get it
that's
out of
true.
my face.
I'll convert, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
So then, like, then I think we got into like maybe around the same time overhauling.
Yeah. Let's see what that was.
Pit My Ride.
Oh, I forgot about Pit My Ride. That was the best.
It's kind of I would hate watch Pit My Ride.
Yep.
Because it was just so over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that people have done where like Jalopnik has gone to like find former Pit My Ride cars.
Overhauling came out in 2004, so it was definitely after Monster Garage.
And
See, the overhauling theme itself, the theme of the show, was interesting because you would nominate
the original version where they would steal a car and not tell someone.
correct.
That was kind of
And
cool.
somebody would nominate the person who needed it, like why they needed it done, like the heartstring story,
And then it just stopped working. I think people figured it out. They're like,
yeah,
wait, my car went missing and this guy's giving me the runaround. Am I
Yeah.
on overhauling?
yeah, exactly.
So, and then it was like, I think that too started as it was probably a single documentary about Chip Foose somewhere, and that's how he got into being on TV. Because
I'm not sure.
he was well into the cars before then. He didn't need to be on TV, but he ended up on TV. And then, that was kind of when Discovery Channel went from what I like nature shows in World War II to more
That's
like
all
car
it was.
content.
Yeah. To fully made up content. That's why they had all the drama too, because they were trying to get away from documentary to.
I'm not convinced that 2000 to 2005 was like a really great time in like television.
You're not convinced that it was or it wasn't?
It was.
It was not.
Yeah.
It was definitely not. There was nothing good happening on television then.
Yeah.
Name one good thing. Sopranos. That's about it. And that was on HBO.
Yeah, there's not much in that
Yeah.
time.
That was pretty
Like
garbage.
'08 was when like really good shows started coming out.
Yeah,
Like,
the cable network started getting more money, and you started getting shows like
yeah, you got Mad
Breaking
Men,
Bad,
Breaking
Mad
Bad,
Men. Yeah, exactly. On like the ancillary cable channels, not even like the
Yeah.
like who knew who AMC was? They just played old movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like they also ran movie theater.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a discussion for a different type of podcast.
Different podcast, yeah.
Then we get into car flip shows. That was like a watershed moment for car shows because all of a sudden it was like, oh, we need to show car shows.
So we can do drama with working on the car and buying and selling the car.
and we need to see money change hands
Right.
because that's what people want to see. And that's how you get to Velocity was running like 24 hours of like auction coverage.
which I don't mind
Really?
terribly because it's like a rolling car show, and you can put it on in the background, and it's just innocuous background content,
I guess.
and you get to see pretty cars flash across the screen.
I get bored with it.
You can't, again, you can't sit there and watch it. But like, if you're building a model car, or you're building a cabinet, or
Put music on.
you can do that too. I'm just saying, as that's how you watch it.
Take a nap. I don't know.
You can't take a nap and build a cabinet at the same time, Andrew.
Maybe.
Fine. No, you don't. Definitely not. There's no maybe in there at all. Don't hold power tools while napping.
And then I feel like again that was like a one-off show with like Wayne Greene, and then it was like, oh, this is a cool show. We should do Chasing Classic Cars,
I
which
had no idea how Wayne Greene's thing
which
happened.
was like, man,
But that was super high end too.
it
Wasn't
is
that?
super high end, and I get that people like to watch it, but after a while, I'm just like, Wayne Greene gets another barn find car.
For way too cheap and sells it for way too much, and he has
Yeah,
more money than he knows to do with for cars now.
yeah, and Roger complains about fixing it.
But I like Roger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like it's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's all about the chase, and it's like
Yeah.
he drives off into the credits.
Well, it's funny because I wonder how many times it took him to get that shot where he explains his like plan at the end of the show, where he's like, "It's all about the chase," or whatever he says, because he's such like a quiet, mousy person, and he comes off with his like whole attitude about it. It's not who he is.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because like he just shows up, like people like contact him, and they're just like, oh yeah, my great grandfather owned this car, and I'm kind of done with it, and just
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. Wayne knows about it, so I'll just sell it to him for
That's the same thing that happens on the what's his name,
which one?
the Texas guy.
Fast and Loud.
That same thing happens. People just call him, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got this Pantera. It's been in my yard for my garage for years. My dad bought it brand new. Will you give me 20 grand for it?" And he goes down and he's like, "I wasn't gonna give him 20 grand for it. I came with 6 grand in my pocket." And he's like, "Will you take six?" And the guy's like, "No, I really want 12." And he's like, "I'll only give you six." All right, cool. How's the car? Like, come on.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean that guy kind of got to start from like he was doing those. It makes sense. He was doing those gumball
Mm-hmm.
races.
You don't get your start doing gumball races. You got to have money before then.
Well, he did, but that's how people kind of got to know him, and that's
Yeah.
how he ended up being on reality TV.
Well, he was friends. The guy who's on a show a lot owns. I don't know if it's Quadratech or Jeep 4x4 accessories. It's some big Jeep shop,
Yeah,
and he was the money man for all of that stuff. And he
Yeah.
just kind of rode on his coattails.
and like he's just infuriating person.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a horrible human being. And I
Well,
say
I don't
that.
know if he's a horrible.
Oh, he's a horrible human being.
Okay,
I'm gonna go on record.
okay,
If I meet him in real life, I won't tell him that, but I'll pretend to tell him that.
okay.
He's a horrible human being.
Whatever. His
He's just
on-screen.
trashy.
He's yeah.
Just trash. Don't like
I
it.
don't want to see it. I don't want to watch it. I don't care.
No.
It makes me not care about
He
the
doesn't know anything
show
about cars either.
or what's going on. Like I just don't care.
He doesn't know anything about cars either. It's all about money, and that's what bothers me about a lot of this stuff. A
That's
lot of
what
these people
majority
don't
of
know
these are.
anything about
It's
cars.
just like how much money can I get for this?
Exactly.
And they think that that's all people want to watch.
Oh my God, the most infuriating one is that guy in Florida.
Oh, that one's not on anymore. I don't think.
What is his name?
The
What
guy
is
that had
Char-
like ridiculously bad plastic surgery.
and his wife had ridiculously bad plastic surgery as
Yeah.
well.
It was like South Beach Motor Cars or something.
South Beach Classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And they're just like, it was just like
It's
total
trash.
like yeah,
They bought shit boxes and couldn't sell them. That's basically what happened.
basically like showing them putting like Bondo on the cars
Yeah.
and like respraying them. It's just like
They never showed work on the cars. They showed them going to car
Oh,
shows
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and buying cars. That's all they did.
no, it's just dumb.
Another terrible
It's
show.
tiring.
Anyway.
I don't want to watch it. It's not authentic.
Nope.
Get out of my face with that shit.
Yep. 100%.
Now,
Overhauling was the first one that was really watchable, I think, as far as those style shows went.
but then it got old because it got to be the same thing over and over
It
again.
got old, and I blame Chip Foose for the big wheels, the muscle cars, single-handedly. Because he started doing it. He started putting the 18, 19, 20-inch wheels on Chevelles, and it's like, what are you doing, guys?
Uh-huh.
Does not work.
And then we get to Wheeler Dealers.
Which
Now,
was a good show.
it was a really good show. And then
As much as I hear people really don't like Mike Brewer as a presenter, which I never had a problem with him. He's a car salesman.
Yeah,
but
and
a
I
fairly low key car salesman as car salesmen go.
supposedly people have met him in person. He's very, very nice.
That's what I've heard as well. Yep.
It's just not my cup of tea, right? It's not. It's just I don't care about how much you bought the car for, how much you're going to sell it for. I just want to see an old car restored,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the part that I liked the most.
The Ed China part.
Was the China part where he would sit down, it actually explain what he was doing, and then do the repair.
Yep.
And it was like a really nice repair.
And there was never a time crunch. It was never fake drama. It was just
You could tell they tried to force drama, whereas like he's never happy. Ed China's never happy with what I bring back.
Yeah.
Like, and it just.
but it was
like,
never authentic. It was just
No.
yeah.
He
which
didn't
is fine.
He didn't care.
Yeah.
I
I enjoyed that show. I even enjoyed the show after when Mike Brutus like went around the
haven't
world
watched
working
those.
on cars.
Oh, that one, the trading up one.
Yeah.
I did like that one.
Yep.
But I haven't watched the new version of it without Ed China.
I will say there were a few cars that they built where their taste was very questionable.
RX-7 was one of the worst ones.
RX-7, the Volkswagen Bus.
Pinto.
I don't
with
remember
the
the Pinto. Oh, the
prismatic
oh, the
paint
prismatic paint in the Pinto.
that they thought was going to be really cool, and everyone was like,
Nope.
no.
Yep. And that weird Anglia they built, like a gasser style Anglia,
Yeah.
and they just overdid it on the paint and stuff.
They tried. Trying to change it up.
Yeah, they tried too hard. Didn't work out. The RX-7 was the worst, I think.
Yeah.
They took a car that looked really nice and they put like alligator skin print on it.
Mhm.
It was terrible.
And then, the dark horse in this was YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And
So anybody could upload something.
yeah. So we had the YouTube revolution. And I think one of the earliest ones and the longest running ones now is Smoking Tire.
Yeah, but that wasn't a build show at all. That was just the.
It was a car content show.
Mm-hmm. I think there was stuff before then too, but
I can't think
it
of much.
I don't think it caught on as much as that. Probably one of the biggest ones to catch on was the Smoking Tire.
Yep.
Which I mean, ultimately, if it wasn't for the Smoking Tire, would we even be doing a podcast?
Probably not.
Because that's the first podcast we started listening to.
Yep. And then you get into, Roadkill,
Which is one of my all-time favorites.
which was kind of, yeah, I guess. I don't really get it.
You had to watch more of it, I think.
It was the rebellion against those high dollar crazy build shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think what happened to me with Roadkill is that people ruin it. Fans ruin things.
Okay.
Like, a lot of the new, like, Star Wars stuff, fandom ruins it. Because
Okay.
people are just too into it. And
People
it
are
makes...
not that into Roadkill.
People are really into Roadkill, dude.
All right.
People are super into Roadkill. And it's like...
Nobody I know, so.
Yeah, well...
I enjoy the show. I enjoy watching what they do. I enjoy their crazy projects. I enjoy their failings.
there's just... I don't know. There's just people that get so into it. And I'm just like, It's like...
Well, just take them out of it and watch it.
I guess.
Do you see people every day who are way into it? Because I don't.
No.
I know Star Wars people every day who are
I
way into it.
I don't know. I get tired of it. I like it and I get the idea. And I understand it. I just like after a while...
I get angry that I'm not doing it because it's entirely stuff we're capable of.
Yeah, but after a while, it's just like, all right, how many old crummy muscle cars can you save? Like, just...
Yeah, but they don't save crummy muscle cars. That's not what they do. They put it back together to the point and they beat the crap out of it again. Like, they don't save anything. In one of the more recent ones, they took their Corvette they built and they were rolling it over.
Okay.
It doesn't get saved.
So I don't
It's
understand. I don't
trashed.
understand what the point of it is, though.
The point of it is to have as much fun for as little amount of money as possible.
I guess.
And I like that ethos.
I just don't get it.
I think you need to watch more of it and more open-minded.
I
Maybe
just
watch
don't like
some
it.
later episodes.
It's like just... I don't know. It's boring after a while.
Did you watch the Dirtfish Rally School one?
Yeah, so what? I don't...
It was really cool watching muscle cars get flogged at the rally school.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
I watched parts of it, yeah.
Whatever. It's the best car show out there, period.
Maybe.
Maybe my fandom is overlooking the fact that it's not, but my fandom
That's the
is...
thing. Everybody thinks that everything they do, they're like walk on water. Like
No, they don't. They screw up every time. They always break things. Things are always failing. They don't walk on water by any means. It's the exact opposite of that. Their shit's always broken. Because they throw it together and beat the crap out of it and then throw it together again. Nothing ever works. That's why the whole slogan is because roadkill. Like, why did this not work? Because roadkill.
That seems so dumb. Just do it It bothers me.
It's
Like,
cheap.
just
It's the cheap.
it's not really cheap
It
though.
is really cheap. It's all junkyard parts.
Eh,
It's really cheap. They make the Datsun fast by putting a junkyard turbo diesel turbo on a 4.3 Chevy motor and like just cram it into this rusty old Datsun and make
okay,
the car
but
run
why?
levels. Because why not?
Yeah,
Make junk go fast. I like it. I just like to eat those. I
it's
like the
just
whole
like
plan of
I
it.
don't know. To me, it's like kind of a waste.
Nope.
Like, just don't. I don't know.
Nope. It's not for profit. It's not for looks. It's just have fun with cars. And that's what I like about it. It goes way back to the grassroots thing of why are you into cars in the first place? Because you want to have fun with cars. And they have fun with cars. There's no
I
denying that.
guess I just wouldn't waste the time doing that because it doesn't seem worth it to just
Whatever. To you.
put a bunch of work into a car and then drive it into a wall.
They don't do that. Like, they were intentionally rolling the Corvette over. They're trying to drive it on two wheels.
So you're intentionally rolling it over.
Well, it rolls over by accident when you go too
Yeah,
far.
it quote unquote rolls over by accident. You knew what was going to happen and it was going to look cool in film and people are going to be into it.
Whatever.
You know it's not going to work, so you film it.
All right. Well, you do the one where they build that cool Ranchero and they drive it to Alaska.
I like that. I
That's
like the
awesome.
idea of that.
Yeah.
I don't like building stuff just to wreck it,
Well, they don't build stuff just to wreck it. Usually.
but they do all the time.
No, they don't wreck things at all.
All the ones I've seen, they just wreck stuff.
No, I think you've picked the wrong episodes and watched it the wrong way.
Oh, I watched it the wrong way.
Yes.
I don't know how to
You
watch
have
it.
to sit on your head on your couch and watch it upside down in order to get it.
I guess I'm just not that into it.
I love it. I watch every episode religiously, and everyone's more entertaining than the one before it. So
All right. Well,
to
fair
each
enough.
their own.
I don't like it.
To each their own.
I will disagree.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's that's kind of the majority of them that have become probably the most popular one right now is RoadKill.
I disagree. I would say the most popular one right now is Fast and Loud. Go to a car show in Middle America, and you will see more people wearing Fast and Loud T-shirts than RoadKill T-shirts.
I bet it's RoadKill. It's all RoadKill.
I doubt it.
Yep, it's all RoadKill. RoadKill is number one. Guarantee it.
The problem is there are more stupid people in the world that watch Fast and Loud than there are people that watch RoadKill.
Yeah, I doubt
because
it.
Fast and Loud you can watch on Discovery Channel. It doesn't require any effort.
RoadKill you can watch on Netflix. You can watch on.
Not anymore. You gotta watch it on Motor Trend app only.
Oh, no, that's a stupid move. But
People are still watching it. So
Yeah.
people are renting the app, buying the app. I bought it.
you're stupid.
There's more content on there. All the vintage rally content is amazing. I fully support the Motor Trend app because you get like tons of hours of vintage rally footage from the mid 70s through the early 2000s.
I mean, I want everything to be a la carte, so I can just have what I want.
So it is a la carte. You pay $5 a month for Motor Trend.
I know, but
I pay $10 a month for Netflix.
currently I have to. No, it's not because I have to pay for cable to get internet.
No, you don't. Just get friendly with the neighbor and get their password, and everything's fine.
Until I can buy everything individually.
But you can't. You can buy just internet.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to buy just because I have to pay for Netflix. I'd have to pay for Prime. I'd have to pay for HBO.
Yeah.
I'd have to pay for.
You just said to me you want everything a la carte, and now you're complaining about you had to pay for everything individually.
Because it's not.
That's exactly what a la carte is.
Yeah, but it's not cheap enough yet to warrant getting rid of cable. All
But
of the
it
things
is-
that I want
it
are
is-
not cheaper than just paying for cable.
But with cable, you don't get everything.
I get 99% of what I want.
Yeah, see, I disagree. I could not. I could watch nothing on cable, which I do because I don't have cable. I watch everything on Netflix, Amazon, and Motor Trend, and that's $10 a month, $5 a month, and $100 a year. And
But
that's
you're
it.
not paying for your internet.
Even if I did pay for my internet, it's $40 a month for the basic internet package.
But I also can't get
So now you're
my
40,
local stations.
50, 55, and then 100 divided by 12 is a little under 10. So you're talking $65 a month for all that stuff. And you get local stations over the air if you want, or local stations stream online now. Like the Channel 5 news streams, you don't need cable to watch it.
Yeah, but how do I watch it on my TV?
You don't have a smart TV? You don't have a browser on your television?
No, I don't.
You definitely do. You have a PlayStation, right?
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. This is
It's
all.
not a pain in the
They all are.
ass.
Yes, it's not easy enough.
It's very easy.
No, because there's too many things. Like I have to use different devices.
No, you can do it all on your PlayStation or your Xbox. Every one of the Mototrend app, the Amazon app, the Netflix app, the Hulu app, and your internet browser you can stream video on is all on your PS4 or your Xbox One.
Maybe
It's one device. You're not going to win this argument because I do this.
it's
It
not
saves a ton of
cheap
money.
enough yet.
It is cheap, $65 for everything.
No, it's definitely not.
Okay, it's fine.
No.
I am quite happy doing it this way. Even if I wasn't
pain in the
borrowing
ass.
my neighbor's internet subscription, I would
I
still.
want it all in one place. I can just when
I mean,
you get to the point
should I
where
be saying that I'm not borrowing my neighbor's internet subscription?
you're on their Wi-Fi. You can be on somebody's Wi-Fi. You're on my Wi-Fi right now.
That's true. Okay, good.
They let you on. It's not like you stole it from them.
No, they gave me the password and said, "Here, you can use this."
Whatever. That's
So-
irrelevant.
It's totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter at all. It's not like I'm
Anyway.
running a wire across the street. It's just a wireless network that works across the street.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter that I bought a booster to make it stronger.
Okay. Anyway, did you buy it from Junkyard Parts or something? I don't
No,
know.
I bought it from Micro Center in Cambridge.
Junkyard.
Well, whatever.
So, anyways, well, new cars aren't always the most exciting machines. We do kind of live in the best time for automotive entertainment.
Yep, 100%. And I think it's
Um,
only getting better.
You know,
The more personal cameras are better, cell phone cameras are better. Anybody can make content. Hell, we make content. Nobody wants to watch it, but we make it.
we used to. I remember like it was a struggle to find a car show to watch,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like it's so easy that I have car shows that I don't like to watch.
Right.
That everybody tells me they're good,
Right.
and I hate
like
them.
RoadKill.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Money Car Mods?
Nope, not into that either.
Hmm.
Not my thing.
They had some fun episodes.
I really like.
They built a Mirage. How can you not like a show that built a Mirage? They did a whole season on building a Mirage.
Yeah.
Only we would build Mirages, and they built the Mirage.
Yeah, I'm more into like what Ed China does.
Speaking of YouTube shows,
Oh yeah, we did catch up with that. I think
Yep.
there's only one
one episode so far. Yeah, it's like
New-
a pilot.
Ed China garage revival. So he goes to someone's garage. You should apply to this show. And they he saves their floundering project car.
Now, this isn't a new update either, a new style either. This show exists on Velocity as well.
It is, but it's not as good.
It's the same concept though. They go and
It's
finish
the
your project.
same exact concept, but it's not
It's
as
not
good.
Ed China, so it's not as good. They don't show as much of it because they have commercials and they have a time frame to fit into.
Yeah, and it's just not. They're not editing it for the type of content that I want to watch.
No, they're giving you the pretty parts.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, the headliner's done. Oh look, the seats are installed. Oh look, the paint is done.
No, I want to see how he's doing it
Beauty shots driving.
because that's what I'm into. But
Correct. In fact, at the end of the Ed China show, when they finished the Volkswagen, do they even do beauty shots of it driving?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
I certainly do.
I didn't know if they finished it all the way.
So, yeah, that was the last like new car show I watched. Did kind of like it, so we'll go with it. But-
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I hope they make more of them.
I mean, if anything, I guess we'll ask.
Or Hoonigan. The Hoonigan channel is fun too.
I like Hoonigan, the little daily transmission things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really understand the rest of it, like what they do for the other things.
Garage, they do project cars, which is cool. They built a bunch of different stuff. They build different stuff in different episodes, and they go through the whole process of it.
Mm-hmm.
They did a special where they went to Baja, and a Baja bug they built.
Oh,
Well,
I'll
they
have to watch that one.
They built, and then went through it and made it drivable again. It was actually a very roadkill-like episode because they got in the car and then started driving it, and the new tires rubbed, and they cut the fenders off, and then they drove it further, and the steering wheel kept popping off, and it was just like a shitty car they bought and they road tripped, which is a cool concept that I like.
Okay.
That's like my daily life. I buy a shitty car and I try to drive to work every day.
Okay. All right.
So out of it, a lot of the hoonigan content is really cool. A lot of it is too loud, obnoxious, and in your face, but a lot of it is really good. Now, speaking of, actually, there's more YouTube shows.
I like Petrolicious.
Petrolicious is awesome because all it is just beauty shots and a backstory of the car. So it's like an article I liken that to like an article in a car magazine
Yep.
where they just show you the car all done and tell you how it got there, but you
Hmm.
don't see it getting there.
Hmm.
My least favorite of all of this stuff right now
Yeah.
is Donut Garage.
Really?
Hate, hate, hate Donut Garage.
I don't like it either.
It's awful. They scream at you, and they yell at you, and they get all their goddamn facts wrong.
Yeah.
It's misinformation for 10 minutes and gets shared over every car Facebook page and everywhere every time a new one comes out. But it's just filled with misinformation.
Well, I can say I've only watched a couple of the up to speed ones. I watched them on cars that I know a lot about,
And you find a lot of
and
mistakes.
there's a lot of mistakes in them, so I can only assume that the other ones have also a lot of mistakes too.
Even if you watch ones about cars you don't know much about, if you know general car knowledge, you're going to find a lot of stuff
Yeah.
you don't agree with.
Now, I haven't watched their like technical stuff just because
You don't want to get aggravated by it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it sucks too.
As far as technical
I'm
stuff,
talking out my ass though. I've never actually watched it. But,
I haven't either because it's just so irritating.
hmm
Now, as far as technical stuff that I do like to watch, I like Engineering Explained.
That's a very good one.
Um, that stuff's really good.
And anything that's put out by the guy who used to work for Super Street at Sport Compact Car, Dave Coleman. What's his thing called?
He has his own YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you gotta look that up. I didn't know that
I'll look it
existed
up right now.
because I loved reading Dave Coleman articles in Sport Compact Car.
Yeah, he's got a.
I know that he had gone to be an engineer at Mazda, but he's back to making YouTube stuff.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of his videos.
Okay. I mean, I know your favorite, Brad, and it's okay. You can say who it is here. I know you love Doug DeMuro.
Oh yes.
You love learning about all the little weird things that cars have.
Oh, for sure.
Like
So a coworker of mine.
you love sun visors that go in front of the rear passengers, which are
A
clearly
coworker of mine was watching a video the other day
yeah.
of a Doug DeMuro video. Oh, hold on. And I was very upset that he was watching a Doug DeMuro video. He's not even like a big car guy. I was
Yeah.
like, "Are you watching?" I could hear it in his phone. I was like, "Are you watching a Doug DeMuro video?" He's like, "Yeah, he's going over this." I was like, "No, stop, just stop."
Well, whatever. You know what I also like as a YouTuber is Hello Road.
Yep, he got some good ones.
Guy buys like crappy, like just like weird oddball 80s and 90s stuff. So it's right up our alley, and then drives them around. So that's pretty fun. Did you find it?
No, not yet, but I know he's done a few videos. Maybe he doesn't have his own channel. Maybe he's on other people's.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I know there are a few different ones, but
You got me real excited there.
oh, whatever. The best YouTube channel to follow, obviously, is the Auto Off Topic YouTube channel.
Yes.
Let's not forget to promote our own YouTube channel. In
Yeah.
this concept, this discussion here.
It's getting there. I'm working on some new equipment. So
Or the 1A Auto Parts YouTube channel.
yes, you should always go to the 1A Auto Parts
Yep.
YouTube channel for quality parts and install videos. And Jeremy Nutt's podcast channel, which I believe is just Jeremy Nutt.
Yep.
And you can watch
Oh, Tom's Turbo Garage. That's another good one.
that is a good one actually.
Low Key. Who's the other guy who has the 1G Talon, the blue one?
Blue-
Velocity Labs.
That one's all right.
Yeah, he's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean there's some good stuff out there.
Porsche content. Der Fascination is a cool one.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of like Petrolicious, but just for Porsches.
yeah. I don't know. Porsches get so much content, and so much love.
They do, but they're
They
cool
don't need
cars.
any more promotion.
No, but they're cool cars, so it's fun to watch them.
Hooniverse, I do like that.
Universe got some good stuff on there too. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there if you know where to find it, know where to look for it.
I hear Radwood has their own channel.
I don't know what's on it yet, but yes. I don't promote something I haven't seen yet.
I haven't watched it yet. Might be good. Might not
Our
be.
friends at the Driving While Awesome podcast have cool little videos and little vignettes.
Yeah,
So
check those out.
not
But-
before you watch ours though, because they're also.
So go on YouTube, watch ours, and then you can watch theirs
Yes,
because that'll look good. Because you go from there to there.
there's another one too that does kind of Petrolicious-ish, but with more pedestrian cars. I'm trying to think of what it is.
It doesn't really matter. There's a ton of them. Wrap this up. I think we're getting to the end here. So I think we covered most TV shows. I'll leave it up to the listeners.
Oh, the really good YouTube channel to watch.
Yep.
Is Shannon's Insurance.
Really?
So they're a
Oh, Haggerty is good too.
But Shannon's Insurance is Australia's Haggerty.
Oh.
So they're more into like the old JDM stuff.
Yeah.
And they have like one that's a history of the Starion. They have one that's a history of like Datsun 510. They have a really good setup there.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a few. Grassroots Garage. That's the other one I was trying to think of.
Oh,
That's all.
I haven't watched that one.
Yep, that one's all vintage Japanese content.
All right, I'll go check it out. So,
Jay Leno's Garage is sometimes fun. Even Jay Leno's kind of a weird dude sometimes. He's definitely a car guy.
Yeah.
You know, but it's funny if you go back to the beginning of this whole car TV show thing before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how excited I would get when a normal TV show had car content.
Yeah.
Like Jay Leno would have a drag race with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, it's cars on TV. Yes.
Yeah.
Even if it was terribly lame in retrospect. Or when Conan O'Brien would make a big deal out of his Ford Taurus SHO in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really fun to see that. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, just an aside.
All right. Well, I'll leave it up to listeners. If you want to leave us a comment about your favorite car show and why, we'll read them on the air.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you want to email outoftopic@gmail.com.
And we'll watch them and we'll give our own little Gene Shalit like review of them.
Or send us a DM on Instagram or
With a link, yeah.
or a Facebook message. Just let us know what your favorite car show is, and we'll talk about it. Because I think probably the next one we'll ask some questions, and hopefully we'll have some recap stuff, line up a few people that are running NEFR. But other than that, you should also check out Gearbox Magazine again for that article that's coming out.
Oh, 100%.
It should be out when this podcast airs by Brian Driggs. And you should check out his podcast, the Gearhead Project. And if you like us and you haven't already subscribed, or if you haven't already liked us on Facebook, please do. Follow us on Instagram, AutoOffTopic. And you can follow me on Instagram at Race and Anger. This weekend, you can follow Iron Oxide Racing. They are running NEFR in the Spaghetti Golf. That's
Yep.
Liz and Jordan. You can also follow Rally_updates_USA. I will be posting some stuff when I have Wi-Fi to the Instagram page. It's just only 3 underscores. It's Rally Updates USA with underscores between the words.
There you go.
There you go. And so there's tons of rally content, and there'll be tons of awesome photos on there because there's a bunch of photographers that we all contribute to that.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Anything else? Where can they find you?
The TSI SS350. That's my
That's
Instagram
it.
page. That's it. That's it. You might want to give a follow to the new Southern New Hampshire Cars and Coffee
Right.
Instagram page, SNH Cars and Coffee. Doesn't have a ton of content yet because we created it in between shows, but we'll start putting more content up on there.
All right. Go follow them. And keep your cars analog and aim for the roses.